little small chunk of land there, and I'm excited for this one because
I
it's
think this.
actually going to hit, and they
Sorry,
know it's
Gord.
going to hit.
I think this
And it's
one in
exciting.
April that's
And
coming. For so many years now, they've been near misses, but they said, "Oh, this one's hitting for sure. This one's hitting for sure," and it misses, and they go, "Oh, we didn't carry the one." I think this one, they're so confident it's not going to hit. I guarantee it's going to nail us somewhere. And I hope it's before all
well,
this social distancing is over. I would love that if everyone's locked up underneath just piles of toilet paper and Purell, and then just an asteroid takes us all out anyway. I just laugh.
everybody dies alone.
Then I know for sure there's a God.
Yeah. I brought you in alone. I'm taking you out alone. That's funny.
Oh well, we could. You know what? I
Yeah.
could. I'm loving this conversation. I could keep it going all night, but I'm sure you guys have better things to do. Gord, you got? Were you? You're good.
Do I have anything? No, I'm just one thing. Like I said, I cannot wait to read and Demons Fall Behind Her. I can't wait to start reading these books. I have not been this excited to read a book pretty much ever, except for Robin Cook's novels. I've read all of his. I'm a big fan of his books, but I'm actually excited about this. I love everything. I love the plot. I love the basic idea. Everything about it just sounds exactly what I've been looking for in a good set of books to read. So thank you very much for writing these ahead of time. I can't wait to follow this, and
You have
you've
to let me
gauged
know
yourself.
what you think.
Oh, I will. Because
And if you like them, there's a fifth one that I've just finished. That's going to be out hopefully in June. So
Oh, very
that's
cool.
the one. And Ruin Fall Behind Her.
no, that one's out in May.
Oh, that one's
So
May. Okay.
there's a new book called "And Conquest Followed Behind Her," which is Katrina and the other main characters from the other books fighting Ragnarok.
Oh,
In the other books, you will learn about Norse mythology and Egyptian mythology and how all the other mythologies kind of fit into the universe. And then the fifth book is about a group who's trying to start Ragnarok for reasons that will become clear in the four books preceding it. And Katrina and Julia Freeman from Ruin follow behind her, and Octa from And Hell follow behind her, and another character named Kimberly who shows up in And Ruin follow behind her are the main characters who all basically have to fight against another apocalyptic thing, but this time Norse.
So let me ask
wow.
before we
so
let
cool.
you go. Say you were a guy who thought you had the next big thing. Where's the best place to get it on the radar of important people these days? Is there an easy way to?
Well, it's not an easy way. So, I mean, I'm biased. I've built my career one person at a time. I very much believe in order to scale, you have to do the unscalable, which is build a little fan base, talk to all your fans. I have a course called Build a Rabid Fan Base, which is all about like finding your perfect human and then making the product for them and then scaling that little by little. And if you do it that way and you build a fan base that is big enough, then like people of importance will pay attention and they will start taking notice. I remember after 5 years of working the con circuit, just the number of people that I know who are like influential publishers and creators is massive because I have my own fan base. But more importantly, like when I launch a book, it makes a lot of money and I don't need them. And the best way to get people to want to work with you is to not need them.
Oh,
for
definitely.
sure. It's one thing that is 100% sure for every company I've ever started. The way to get people to want to work with you is to not need them to work with you, and then they will come banging down your door. I've been working on a book called my book Ichabod Jones Monster Hunter for a decade, And it was not until it sold out of 7 printings that I got new management, I got a showrunner, I got and all suddenly everyone wants to like take this book out and like and do and try and like sell it as a TV show. It's the same book I've been trying to sell since 2010, but suddenly there's heat behind it.
That's awesome.
So,
well, you definitely deserve it, my friend.
One more question. I do have one more random question.
Okay.
Straight up personal question. I have to ask. When you came up with the concept of a Gherkin Boy and the Dollar of Destiny, what were you smoking and how can I get some?
So,
that is the greatest concept for a book I've ever not read yet, but will. It's just hilarious.
Thank you. I wanted to do something. So a couple things. I wanted to do something that was absurdist, because I'm an absurdist at heart. Like, I look at all of this stuff and just like, what does it say? Like an optimist sees the best, a pessimist sees the worst, an absurdist just looks at it all crumbling down and laughs. So I think I'm an absurdist at heart, and but more importantly, I wanted to draw a book because I'd been working in comics for a long time, and I felt like I really wanted to know like what it was like to draw a book. And I'm not a great artist. I'm not even a good artist. I'm not a competent artist. So I could draw something absurdist because you didn't have to. It doesn't have to look the same every page. And I swear to you, the Gherkin Boy does not look the same. But I could draw a little pickle thing. Like a pickle that looks like a penis, and then I just kept drawing things that I could draw a fork, so a fork became like the main character, like a lecherous fork, and then I could draw like a black hole because it's just like a spiral, and then I could draw like a little eyeball person, and so it became an alien, was just like an eyeball. And there was a stick at the end called Stick 'em Up, and it just became like, I can draw this. And when you're doing absurdism, it behooves you to be as absurd as humanly possible.
Yeah.
So the premise is about a pickle who falls into a black hole and it's on an adventure across the universe to get back home. And people have been very maybe not astute, but they've been very quick to point out that sounds a lot like a penis falling into a vagina. And like, I was like, I literally didn't think that, but like, whatever, man. Like I
that's cool.
So I think the other way to go about it is kind of like, I'm this year putting out the worst animated movie ever made, because I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm not an artist either, but I've got people fairly convinced that this is the greatest production that's ever happened. And it's kind of a little bit of the Emperor's New Clothes, but I think it works nowadays. You can, I'm just going to convince people that this is the way animation is supposed to be and get them all to change for me, because I can't do what they do.
Yeah, I mean, animation is wonderful, and so is art, because it can be anything. So one thing that I wanted to do was, so there's a thread of artists who don't think that they can sell work because of some reason. And so that book is absolutely like atrociously drawn. It's hilarious. Like, it's so funny, but it's horribly drawn, but it's sold like several hundred copies, just not like a ton of copies, but it's a lot of copies for a book that is drawn by me. So I can look at anybody ever who says that like their book can't sell or woe is me or whatever, and be like, I don't know, man. Have you ever seen my book Gherkin Boy and the Dollar of Destiny? It has one review that's 2 stars that says, I like all of his other work, but I don't like this. And people, but some people really love it, and like, I think that it's such a weird, quirky book, and I was in a real bad place when I made that book, and I just wanted something to like make me smile, and I promised to put as many weird things in as possible. And the slogan for our company, one of the slogans is "Weird Books for Weird People," And it just does not get any weirder than Gherkin Boy. He decides the reason he gets to a black hole is he decides to not cross on a crosswalk. So he crosses away from a crosswalk and he falls into the black hole of asphaltitis. So it's just sometimes you just need something that makes no sense and is complete nonsense. And I just love that book so much, but I don't get to talk about it very often because, it's not our best seller, and it's not the book that I want somebody to go to look at first. But if it's the book that people end up reading and loving, then I'm very excited because, I think there's no better use of my or explanation of my humor than Gherkin Boy. And if you can believe it, I actually pitched that show to Nickelodeon and they were interested for a very small amount of time.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, if I had the backing of a network, we would already be on season 5. I'm telling you right now. That's just based off the description. I am so all over the shit out of this. This just sounds hilariously funny. It makes me want to get back into doing drugs again.
I guess
he does.
Sorry, you guys go ahead.
Oh no, he is. He goes on the journey to find the dollar of destiny because he wants to smoke drugs. That's why he starts.
So perfect.
So I suppose the con season is it just on hold now? Is everything canceled?
Everything through, as far as I know, everything through May is canceled. Eric Garcetti has said that that we're going to be. Eric Garcetti is the mayor of Los Angeles, and so he has said that that we are going to be locked inside for 2 more months, so till the end of May. My best projections. Like the best projections of like how short it will be like it will be over in June, but I still can't imagine that that the CDC or WHO will recommend a 50,000 person show to exist for the decided future. I think that we'll get, like China, they're starting. They opened up stuff and they opened up their stores and like they're starting to get back to normal, but like. I don't think they're going to put on a 200,000 person show with like San Diego Comic-Con. Like that would just be cons are like germ central. So to go from whatever the 10 that the CDC is recommending now to like 50,000 seems like it's a big jump. I look forward to getting back and like having all of my friends who work at comic book stores, like be able to get back to work and be able to go eat at a restaurant. I just can't imagine that like you will see San Diego Comic-Con because that's like 200,000 people.
That's the part that's really bugging me. I was out earlier today and I was dying for lunch, and there's literally you can't just stop somewhere and have lunch. It was the most annoying thing. Like there's no like a lot of places in the community I'm in aren't even accepting cash because they think that coronavirus is going to be living on the cash, so they're not even taking cash. So it's not even you can't go to a restaurant, but even if I did, I can't pay. It's I really hope it's not very permanent. I think we're going to be longer in this than we like to think. What's that, Gordon?
That's one thing I never thought of. Do food trucks, are they even allowed to be open now?
I saw a food truck open.
I don't know that people would patronize them at the moment. I know, like, everywhere I was today, it was very no contact. It was kind of like leave your money on the counter and back away slowly sort of a situation. So,
yeah, I mean, I think that we're in... If we are China or South Korea, then you're looking at 8 weeks. If you don't actually like up in Canada, they're locking down things. Down here in America, they're not locking down stuff. Like they're like selectively locking down certain cities and areas, but not like the entire country as a whole. So who knows? It might be 8 weeks, it might be 12 weeks, it might be whatever. But I cannot imagine a world where